Hello, welcome back to another Photoshop video. In this video, I'd like to look at how to add shapes and also paths, and then I might export it into Premiere as well, and we'll look at how to work with it in Premiere. So let's give a couple of layers, one for our shapes and one for the paths. So for the shape, you'll need to use this one, which is custom shape. And when you do custom shape, you see at the top, you get a bunch of stuff happening at the top. So what we want to do is, you've got all different shapes, and I've settled on this rhino. So now I can simply hold shift and I can draw out my rhino. I've already done some settings for what I want it to look like. And the rhino has actually got no fill. There's a bunch of different stuff you can put in the fill as well. So for the fill, we're going to choose this color here. And it's going to be a grass rhino. Okay, so we'll position the rhino here. And what I would like to do with this rhino is, you want to make it go along a path, and you can obviously do that in Premiere. So let's just lock these layers here. Lock. And we're going to do another layer. And this layer is going to be the path. So we're just going to remove the rhino for now so we can't see it. And for the path, what you want to do is, you want to go pen, and I use the curvature pen tool. So if no fill, and then the stroke. I like to actually be able to see the stroke. And you can choose, I think I chose like a 4-2-4. We'll just do, it doesn't really matter. Let's try something like that. And then that's good. Okay, so then all you have to do, you just draw the points, and then you can curve it around, and maybe just something, maybe kind of like a simple path. Okay, we'll go all the way to there. All right, so there's the path. The stroke color, actually, I was using a blue, but maybe I'll use a red instead. See what options we got on red. Let's try that one. That's cool, right? So that's all good, right? So that's essentially how you make the paths, and how you make a custom object and a custom shape. So you can see there's the rhino. It doesn't matter, it's not actually on the path at this point. But you can see all of those layers are pretty good, right? All right, so we'll just save it. So we'll save it as call it rhino shape for whatever reason. Okay, so now we're going to go into Premiere, and we've got this rhino shape. So we'll bring it in, and we get import layered file rhino shape. So we're going to import as a sequence, and we're going to do document size. All right, so once we've got it into Premiere, we can start to think about how we're going to do a mask on it. So this is the way we're going to make the rhino go along the path, and we're going to auto-orient to the path. Something you always want to do in like every program, right? Well, at least After Effects and Premiere anyway. So we're in this layer here. You can see I've got the rhino is hidden at the moment. And we're going to do this mask. And we're going to put the mask up here to start with. And then we're going to do that and make sure we can see it. So then we're going to go to, I guess, like 112. And we could probably just start to expand this path, maybe like a little bit here. Then we're going to go to what, 24 is the end, isn't it? So it's like 3 seconds. And then at that point, we can probably make it quite a bit larger, like maybe about here. And then we're going to go all the way to the end of the clip, and we'll just do the whole lot, right? Well, I guess we'll go to 424, right? Because I guess that's kind of where it ends. So there's actually a little bit more there. This actually needs to go down even further, right? Right. So we take a look now. Let's just play that. Kind of comes in pretty strangely there. Maybe I could make that a little bit better. You can mess around with that. But anyway, the point is that's going to be how that appears, right? This is obviously something like which is like a very important task to do. Anyway, so that layer's worked like that. Then what you want to do is we want to now go into this Rhino layer. So with the Rhino layer, we're going to actually view the Rhino, and we're going to make sure we've got the center point of the Rhino somewhere on about that point. And then you do a similar sort of thing. But the things you want to look out for are the position. We're actually going to make sure we can see the path, which I can't actually see at the moment. I guess because it hasn't been built yet, has it? Right, so the Rhino is actually probably not quite in the right spot. We're going to move him up a bit. So yeah, so we're going to start with, we're going to do position and rotation, right? So he needs to go like, I don't know where. Yeah, he probably like, if you look where the path is at this stage, and then about there, and we might just rotate him a little fraction up, right? So you can see we've got those keyframes there. And then we're going to do, again, we'll do to 112 or whatever. I think like there's probably ways I could massively optimize this, but I just haven't thought of it really. So at this point, the Rhino should be all the way down there, and he should be facing down a bit. So we'll move him all the way down. In you go, a bit further across. And we're going to rotate. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm just gonna, yeah. So here it should be all the way here, right? So let's do that again. Just put them there. And down you go, buddy. So you can be about there. Now the last bit, honestly, I kind of messed that up a little bit. So I'm curious to see how this will be interesting. Like I said, it's not exactly particularly accurate what I'm doing here, but I think the general point with a lot of the videos that I'm trying to make here is which way is he even going to be facing? He's like there, isn't it? That's actually not too bad. All right, so I mean, so that is essentially it, right? So let's have a look, see what he does. Well, okay. But anyway, so that's sort of like a way to like all the way from the beginning in Photoshop to the end in Premiere. So thanks for watching.